Is it already going?
Yeah, it's been going for a while.
Oh my god.
You didn't see us snap. You know?
You're right, but I thought like maybe it's a Bluetooth thing.
Nah, we're going. Okay.
Welcome to Benched.
Welcome to Bench, everybody. If you guys don't...
You're going to edit all that out, right?
Yeah. I'll cut it because that was fucking terrible. So, a lot of stuff has happened. I feel like we actually have a lot to talk about this week.
This is true. We're up bright and early. No, I'm being serious. Like we're doing this a lot earlier than we typically would.
Yeah.
What's up?
It's like I woke up early, right? Like I woke up at like 7:30. We generally do like 10 o'clock, so I wake up at 9.
Yeah, we do this at 10, so I wake up at 10.
We're yeah. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna go get Devin at 10. I text Cam that we're starting at 10. And then I show up to Devin's house at like 10:10.
I come out at like 10:20.
He's like, yeah, I'll be like another 15 minutes. And I'm like, okay, sure. And then it's 10:25. And Cam's been like waiting at my house for like an extra 30 minutes now because I'm bad at time management. And he wakes up when I tell him wait.
Yeah. I wake up when we're supposed to start, yeah.
We never get an on-time thing, and we say that we started earlier, but it's almost 10.
It's almost 10 now. Well, it's still technically way earlier than we would have.
Yeah.
Like, we were
starting on time.
Yeah.
Actually.
We're starting on time.
For once.
Oh, my God. But, yeah, today was supposed to, like, you came by my house at, like, 8, you said?
Yeah.
I woke up at like 7:55.
I gotta assume so.
Nah, but the thing is, like, I'm kind of weird with my alarms. You know how it's a pretty normal thing to have multiple alarms set like back to back to back to back and all that.
I just realized I don't think you've ever told this on the camera.
What?
About your weird alarm setup.
I think it's pretty standard to have a bunch of alarms back to back to back, you know?
But you have like a specific kind of alarm, right? You don't
I use this thing called Alarmy. It's an app where I feel like it's a lot more effective than like the standard default iPhone alarm because you can set up like different tasks for you to do where you can like solve math problems in order for the alarm to turn off or scan a barcode or something. So I do that typically. I actually don't do the barcode because even though it would help a lot more because it's way more effective and makes me get up.
Mm-hmm.
But I just do the math problems. So I've gotten really good at arithmetic.
Yeah, no, I was about to say that just sounds like hell waking up and having to do like derivatives.
Nah, it's all right. But like, I have it set like to 15-minute intervals from like. What was my alarms today? It was like from 7 to 7:45, and then from that point on, I just like 5 minutes to 2 minutes to 1 minute.
Yeah. No, I set like probably like 10 alarms back to back sometimes because I'm too worried. If I only set 2 alarms, I will probably sleep through them both.
No, but the thing is, I feel like I could wake up to 1 alarm, but I'm also. Shut up! Stop!
Who was talking to you? Who was talking to you?
Who asked?
That's what I fucking thought. Oh, I'm about to smack.
Yeah.
No.
You down for some Peking duck?
We just
motherfuckers.
we're eating good tonight.
Yeah. I know what balut is. For those who don't know, that's a fertilized duck embryo that's been cooked or boiled.
A delicacy.
Yeah, Filipino delicacy. But anyways, like that, I feel like I could wake up to 1 alarm, but I choose to have multiple because I feel like what's better than REM sleep? You bitch. Did you? You
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah.
But I feel like what's better than REM sleep is post-alarm sleep where you know you can get like another 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And that hits way harder.
Easily.
So I do it on purpose because that I feel like that's a little bit masochistic, but I'm into that.
I used to do that in high school. Like I would wake up 15 minutes before I needed to.
That's my kink waking up.
Yeah, yeah. I would wake up 15 minutes before I was supposed to, and then I'd have an
that's so
alarm for
hot.
when I really needed to. So that way, I hit the alarm, and I'm like, oh, I have 15 minutes left, and then
Let's fucking go. It feels so good, right?
It really does.
Yeah.
It only became problematic when I slept through both alarms.
That does seem problematic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, but today was extra. It hit extra hard today because I knew obviously ahead of time that we were starting early, but I did not go to sleep any earlier.
Ooh.
You know what I ended up doing last night? I ended up watching. I don't know if you've seen much of it, but it's the Oscar Isaac and Marissa Tomei like Zoom play.
Yeah, I had seen only like the clips of it on TikTok, but
The ones where they're like talking dirty.
Yeah,
shit.
I've never seen the full context.
I saw the full hour. I watched it last night, and I went to sleep at like 2.
Just softcore porn before bed.
I was like so intrigued. I don't know why, because it's like old-ish by now, but like I was just so intrigued, and it actually ended up being like a really captivating sort of a play.
Okay.
Because it ended up being about this guy. Oscar plays this guy who is stuck in a quarantine situation, and Marissa Tomei plays this other character who sneaks in, who is not infected, but is in danger of like being killed if she leaves or something, because she is not supposed to be there. Like they're not supposed to mix. Like it's a really deadly sort of thing.
Okay.
And she's there because she wants to be with him, and doesn't care about the risk. And so
Get on your knees.
yeah, she's sort of like trying to seduce him.
Yeah.
And he's trying to like, listen, I want to do this, but like I can't risk having your death be on my hands. Like I can't live with that.
Yeah.
And she's just trying to be like, I don't care. I want to be with you. And it's just this back and forth of like arguing, and then like, are they gonna do it? And then, yeah, the ones where they're like, are they gonna do it? It gets like really uncomfortable, obviously.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the part that I like. You know, let's get into the get on your fucking knees or whatever he says.
Yeah, I'm gonna rip your fucking tits off with my teeth or some shit.
No,
I'm gonna
he went
drain
a
your
little,
balls.
They went a little too method on that one.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy.
Some part of me feels like those weren't in the script. No.
Guys, the line was,
Kiss me.
I can't wait to touch you.
Oh, you dirty fucking bitch, I'm gonna...
He was freestyling.
Yeah.
Yo, Jake Lockley came out for a minute.
Yeah, that's what it is. Starts throwing out slurs, and she's like, oh my god. Shut up!
Yo, literally,
Shit.
we cannot do anything without interruption.
We cannot survive in peace out here.
Yeah.
This is why studios exist.
Right.
But
Coming soon? No, I'm playing.
nah, chill
No.
on that. But yeah, my YouTube history for the past at least last night. Let me read off some of the titles, because Oscar Isaac moments that make
Me come.
me come. Yeah. No, that make my mummy's sarcophagus scream.
What?
It's just the Oscar Isaac compilation.
Nice.
And then it led into the Oscar Isaac and Marissa Tomei play thing.
Okay.
And then it was like, can Lego break an aluminum beam?
Yo, I actually used to watch those like religiously.
Yup.
Like the weird like Lego physics.
Yeah. The
Videos?
no talking. It's just right into it. Like
Yeah, and they give you like all the facts on the screen. I
fucking
love
loved
those.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I watched that last night. How many walls stop a Lego cannon? Requested Lego Experiments 4.
Wow.
And then the latest GMM episode.
Nice.
Yeah. I love those deep dives, and last night was definitely one of those, so that did not help my sleep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
You hear that yelling too? Yeah.
I think it might be the gym coach.
Oh shit! Yeah.
We're right next to a school as per usual. Anyways,
It's typically a park, but okay.
just saying. You know,
Yeah.
the use.
Us being a nuisance to children.
Speaking of being a nuisance to children, we just saw
Cool.
Doctor Strange.
What? How is that? How is that a
Well-
transition? What the fuck do you mean by
I
that?
tried.
What the fuck do you mean?
Well, at the beginning of the movie, he, I guess it's not really being a nuisance. He tried to kill a child. But
Oh, what a nuisance.
yeah, what a nu-
Oh, what a mild inconvenience.
no, that was probably one of my craziest transitions. So yeah, we saw Doctor Strange this weekend.
Yeah, we did.
Um,
You're getting pictures of that?
So for anybody who hasn't noticed, I've been drinking this cup that's on the ground because we agreed that for Devin, it's fair that since I broke his cup holder, until we can get replacements, he gets to use my... He gets to use my cup holder. For people who aren't watching on camera, he just violated my personal space. Oh my
changed my mind.
god. Oh my god.
Love y'all. Go ahead.
God.
Aggressive.
Doctor Strange. So for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, spoiler, I'm gonna put a timestamp on the screen right now. And go ahead and skip to that timestamp.
You better actually put a timestamp.
Yeah,
I swear to
actually,
God.
there's gonna be no timestamp actually.
Right. Yeah. Guess.
No,
Imagine
but
they cut to like a really fucked part where it's just like, can you believe that they killed? And
yeah, we just
Yeah.
we cut the time to when we spoiler alert, Wanda.
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds made out with himself. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Wanda brought back Vision again.
crazy.
Yeah.
And this time it ended up being Evan Peters
Yeah.
again.
And they had the craziest sex scene. Like, I know that
What are
Eternal...
you doing?
What are you doing, step bro?
What are you doing, super bro?
I knew you were fast, but I didn't know that fast.
Oh my god.
Yo. I'm gonna transition this back. So we start off the movie.
What are you, Tumblr? Goddamn.
Right. We start off the movie. They're being chased down.
Are we gonna give a whole synopsis?
I was just explaining my transition, and Doctor Strange was essentially trying to kill
America Chavez.
America Chavez. He kind of used the whole explanation of, like, in the grand calculus of the multiverse, your sacrifice, will be far more significant and all this kind of stuff, and he's trying to take her power.
Mm-hmm.
And in the process, he gets fucking killed.
Gobsmacked.
And then we realize, after she gets, like, beamed into a portal,
That wasn't our Strange.
it wasn't our Doctor Strange. It was a Doctor Strange from another universe.
Yeah, with a ponytail.
Yeah.
Hipster motherfucker.
But anyways, overall, the movie I thought was pretty good.
Immediate rating.
I'm going to say 7 out of 10.
7.5.
Yeah. Because there were definitely a lot of things that I think could have been improved with more time.
Right.
I just feel like it was very in your face, and they tried to do it so that it just felt like there was no time to, like, have filler.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the big things that I kind of told you was, like, with wrestling and other things, like, sometimes for more dramatic moments, you should let them breathe to kind of give more emphasis on what the, like, the actual emotion is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And when you rush through things...
Sorry, your wrestling comparison was just funny.
Yeah.
He does that a lot. He does that a
Honestly,
lot.
I watch wrestling a lot.
I was like, facts.
Because the thing with like modern wrestling is like the biggest critique is that they don't let anything breathe. So when they're doing all these crazy flips and shit,
They don't feel special.
they don't feel special, and also like it doesn't feel real because how the fuck are you gonna do like a triple flip onto somebody to the outside and then just immediately throw them back in, and then they're like giving you super kick, and then like they don't have time to sell the fact that that move hurt them, so they just look like they're fucking invincible. It's like watching a Marvel movie, not like a sport. So that's the problem with that people have with modern wrestling, is that since it moves too quick, it doesn't feel legitimate. And a lot of like old heads will say like you need to let your spots breathe. And that's kind of how I felt with this Marvel movie. I was like, they at times they didn't let shit breathe.
Mm.
So, knowing that there was originally like an extra, I think it was like 10 to 30 minutes that they had cut out.
Also known as 20.
20, yeah. Find the average.
Yeah.
I wish that there was just a little bit more. And hopefully that's what they meant by there was an extra 20 minutes.
That was a pretty, it's like the pretty popular critique, and I'm with that as well. I think I enjoyed how experimental it got as far as like direction-wise. Like I appreciate Marvel for giving the directors a lot more freedom, it feels like, to do what they would like. Because this felt very Raimi, this felt very Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire-esque.
Yeah.
In the sense that there were a lot of like really up close and personal zooms and transitions that you would never see in a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Like the entire just fading to black, and then fading right back into another scene, or just the mashup of like all the different angles when Mordo was telling the story about Wanda, and just like cutting between them and like fading like it was the fucking 90s music video.
Right.
Like that's so stylized and like not typical.
Yeah.
And it was funky, but I was into it, like for a movie with a title like Multiverse of Madness, it seemed pretty appropriate.
Yeah, it kind of needed like a funky feel to it.
Like the first I guess second fight scene, if the first one was Defender Strange dying, the second one where Strange is just leaving the wedding and jumps right into the battle with it was actually Gargantos. That was the name of the one-eyed creature.
Yeah.
Him pulling out the handkerchief, turning it into the cape, and him jumping off that balcony right into the fight. That was so Spider-Man.
Yeah. It really was.
Yeah. I just really, I really like that. I thought Wanda was a fantastic villain.
Yeah.
Like the thing that makes Thanos so appealing as a villain is the fact that he seems so invincible and like undeniable, like he's gonna get what he wants.
Yeah.
She sort of gave me that same feeling. Like,
Definitely.
The way she was mowing down everyone,
Yeah.
I think the Illuminati were they were bitched around,
Easily. Yeah, that's what really threw me off was last week we had mentioned that we had seen some leaks, and one of the big leaks was that we saw John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic.
Mhm.
And seeing that was really cool. I didn't realize that they were going to get ran through like Riley Reid in the first 5 minutes. Because, I mean, Reed's got shredded. I think the most violent one that I saw in this movie, and that was another thing that I want to touch on. It was a very gory movie for MCU.
Oh, yeah, they were really pushing it.
They kind of had creative workarounds to make it look more gory. Mm-hmm. She was killing a lot of Ultron bots, and their oil just gave the visual of blood just running down her face and shit.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that was the thing that kept it from being an R rating. Just like, oh, don't trust us, it's Ultron oil.
Yeah,
it's Ultron speech.
They kind of had that they kinda had that
thought you were
workaround.
gonna keep going. I was gonna be happy.
I'm trying. And it really worked. Like I said, the Black Bolt death was probably the most gruesome because she's able to like warp reality, and she gets rid of his mouth, and his whole thing is that he can speak, and he just destroys anything in front of him.
And he's typically so calm and collected, and then that moment
out of fear or just like not knowing what to do,
freaks out.
he freaked out and he like screamed, and it reverberated in his mouth and just like blew his brain out the back, and you just see his head go like and like sag. That shit was the most violent
I fucking
death.
loved it.
No, it was great.
Yeah.
It was just so fucking surreal to see because, like I said, in a Marvel movie, that was wild.
Right.
And you see his eyes get all like red and shit, like they had been blown out.
His mouth reverberated, like it was all very quick, and then he had blood like fly out of his nose, and then oh my god,
yeah,
it was amazing.
It was wild, and then snapping Charles Xavier's neck.
Yeah.
Shredded Mr. Elastic into spaghetti.
Mr. Elastic.
I mean, Mr. Fantastic, Miss Elastic. I get them switched up. My fault. Oh, you about to do the he said the stupid thing.
Yeah.
He said.
Born in lab. Nah.
Shut up.
Nah,
Shut up.
But I've been thinking for years that The Incredibles were just a better done Fantastic Four. Not in the sense that Fantastic Four isn't amazing in the comics. It's just like as far as movies go.
Yeah, for sure.
Ooh.
Ugh.
Shout out X. Professor X.
Yeah.
The other one. I'm gonna start saying shout out X, but
My humor is so broken. My first thought was like a TikTok of just like Professor X getting his neck just snapped, and you just hear like spotlight on. It's all like distorted and like blurry and shit.
Yeah. It's like boost bait.
Yeah.
Wait, I said boost bait.
Shout out X, and they just
Face
like
boosted.
they put like a little like PNG of his hair on Professor X.
Yo, yeah. Damn. R.I.P. both of them.
Nah, but it was just crazy to see John like in the theater. Everybody was like, "Holy fuck!" when he just came in through the little portal.
Yeah, that was sick. Like
And
the
then-
fan cast actually came true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then 10 minutes later, his head just pops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got fucking spaghettified.
Yeah. Captain Carter.
Dude, that was unexpected. That was gnarly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had like some dudes next to me that were like, they're misogynistic probably.
Mm-hmm.
They just seemed like casual Marvel fans that didn't know what they were getting into.
Mm-hmm.
So when they saw Captain Carter, they're like, "Oh, here we go." And I was like, "Bro, shut the fuck up.
Dog.
This is cool."
Yeah. That's so fucking cool, yeah.
And then when she said, "I could do this whole day," they were like, "Oh, come on." And I was like, "Bro, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Shut up."
That part.
That's what I was saying. It was kind of
Right.
cool. And
So
then-
you're not into seeing like these comic characters reimagined in some sort of unique twist? Like, come on, dog.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're like, yeah, that sounds cool, but don't make them a woman.
Yeah. That's the whole thing that I just felt like it was annoying to make comments during it. They probably didn't watch What If, so that's probably why they just didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
But nah, she got sliced.
Yeah.
That was crazy too, just seeing the shield hit the wall and it's like covered in blood and her body just kind of slumps,
Yeah.
sliced in half.
Yeah. She's
One.
half the woman she was before.
Boo. Boo. It was pretty good though.
Yeah. Thank you.
But, well, fuck that ant in particular.
Yeah.
I think it went into my shoe. It's gonna bite
you
me.
probably deserved it.
Yeah.
Nah, I think it was. I can understand why some of the choices in the movie were a turnoff for some people, but I depending on the reason.
Got one on the Dickies too.
Oh, not the Dickies.
Right.
Speaking of which, I almost legitimately slept in these trying to break them in.
Yeah. That's the crazy thing about Dickies is that they are stiff.
Yeah.
You gotta wear them, boys.
Still pretty new.
Yeah. You just got those?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have the exact same ones.
Trust me, they get a lot more. I got these things for like a year now. These things, I can run them.
Yeah.
Right. No, I gotta wear them in. I got 2 other pairs too that I also gotta just like.
Was it like the light
Beat up.
navy or the dark?
It was the dark.
Okay, I have the light ones.
I was thinking about getting the light, but it was actually a little bit more expensive. I was like, nah.
Okay. So at least I can wear those and then we don't match.
Right.
Because fuck you.
Right.
Yeah.
You wish. Sorry. So,
Anyways,
Doctor Strange.
yeah. I wanted to talk about the music note fight scene.
That was sick.
It was really sick. As a music nerd, it kind of just like, it like clicked in my head what they were about to do. And then they did it and I was like, oh, that's so fucking cool.
Right.
And one of the first things that I put in the notes for this week was Dr. Fantasia. Because that's literally the first thing I fucking thought of. I was like, this is some shit straight out of Fantasia. Like playing with music notes and like using that to fight. And
Yeah.
um,
The single harp note.
yeah.
Oh my god.
And that was the thing about when he was fighting Gargantos too, like the big horns. I think, what was it? The YouTube guy that does the stuff. The YouTube guy that talks
Charles
about...
Cornell? Different one?
No, it's... I forget his name, but he does a lot of like Marvel reviews and like deep dives and Easter eggs and shit like that.
I thought it was a music guy. My bad.
But
Oh, Anthony Fantano. Yeah.
yeah. It's the guy that does all the Marvel reviews.
Jimmy Johns. Damn it.
And he essentially said that that fight with Gargantos did feel very reminiscent of, or like the music felt very reminiscent of Night on Ball Mountain, which is another Fantasia thing. I actually played that in band when I was in high school, so I thought that like kind of struck a chord with me too. It's like, oh, this is sick too.
Right.
But yeah, I thought that the movie was pretty cool.
You seem a little distracted. You're looking for the bugs, aren't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just wondering where they're coming from, so now I'm like looking for them.
Where did they come from? Where did they go?
I think that they're coming up on the bench.
Where did they come from? Cotton Eye
Where did
Joe.
they come from? Where did they go? Where did they come from? Cotton Eye Joe.
See, you can't actually
That song-
sing it, otherwise
yeah.
we might get.
That song
striked.
does feel like. That's what?
The pile's right there.
Ah, yeah, we're right on top of the colony. Colonization.
Yeah, you just got colonized.
Still never pulled that bar out the pocket.
But like I was gonna say to backtrack on the goriness, like, and with Miss Marvel coming out soon, I think I really appreciate how there's like levels to how Marvel's willing to take their characters depending on who they are, as far as seriousness.
Mm-hmm.
Because Miss Marvel seems very relatable to kids around her age.
Yeah.
And then this obviously does not. So, I like the idea that Phase 4 is going to be about creating a more widespread and diverse universe, in the sense that they could all culminate into one big thing in the same way Endgame did, but they're typically in their own little parts.
Bubble. Yeah.
Like you have the mystical side, you have the sort of space adventure side, you have the street level type things,
Yeah.
and then you have the whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Something
know.
else.
I think it'll make the universe broader and maybe not as connected in the sense that all these characters have to interact.
Yeah.
But I think that's how the world works in a way.
I feel like it's
Not
a way
everything
that
crosses over.
I feel like it's one of those things where if they do like a huge team-up movie again too, it's something where they can branch out into so many different audiences that final movie where they all do meet back up is just going to be the craziest.
It's going to be so grand.
Yeah, it's going to have, but it's also going to have such a big audience for it with each of those separate pockets having individual audiences that can all come together for one movie.
That isn't to say if you watch this one particular type of thing in Marvel, you only watch that. Like, I'm sure everyone watches everything. It's just they have their favorites.
There just may be more casual fans that they can pick up for the big movie, is what I'm saying.
Right. This feels very season 1 talking Marvel.
Yeah, especially Doctor Strange. It kind of feels like it came full circle. Because we had made that joke around Spider-Man time when the trailer leaked.
Right, yeah.
So
like, it's in another sense, this is very season 1 because we've been at this park and this was the episode that we lost.
Yeah. We recorded a full episode here, and because of the way I had my recording process going, we deleted the audio. So it's not even like we deleted the video where we could at least just have like the audio on YouTube and then just like no visual. Like, we lost the audio.
Yeah.
So there was nothing that we could do.
From what I remember, it was a banger episode too.
It was. For season 1 especially, like, we really had a hard time early on trying to, like, get into casual conversation and, like, stay casual, stay collected.
Still working out the kinks. We're still anxious now, I'd say, but not nearly as much.
Yeah.
What's up?
Nothing. I'd just be creeping around. Anytime I hear like little noises, I'm scared of critters.
Yeah, as I was saying, we are pretty anxious still, but for different reasons, I guess now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you think that's a safe spot to cut back to?
I didn't know we cut in the first place.
For Doctor Strange. Like, spoiler.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're done with Doctor Strange spoilers for now.
Oh, one last thing. We were right, and I was so glad that we got to see Ryan Reynolds kiss himself. That shit was, bricked up.
If you stayed for the second post-credit scene.
Yeah. We actually got to see it.
Third, my bad. Pizza Papa was the second. The third is actually, if you stay in the theater and you sneak under the seat to where the people checking around cleaning up don't see you, there's actually a third post-credit scene that you might have missed.
You actually, while you're under the seat, there's going to be a code that you have to then take home with you and put into the Marvel website at exactly 11:59 into the search bar. 11:59 on every Thursday. So.
Every Thursday, only Thursday.
Yeah.
So look out for that at your local AMC.
Yeah. And when I say it's a scene, I mean it's like a full-fledged porno. Like it's, they just tongue down each other's throats.
Multiple angles.
Yeah. High-level production.
Really
I wonder who actually,
everything.
You talk about like creative freedom over the directing style. I could really see that being a Bang Bros video.
Yeah, and considering it was to Ryan Reynolds, you got to imagine who they got as the body double, because that was spot on.
Yeah, for sure. It really did look like him from the back. Okay, so we're done with that one.
Anyways, now we're done with the Doctor Strange talk.
Speaking of getting hit from the back, let's talk about my TikTok comments.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Because you would have thought that I clapped somebody's grandma on cam and sent it to them. So I made a TikTok, and I'm only making this so that we can make a TikTok clip out of it and send it to the people who are sending shit to me.
Individually, each one of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is my message to you. I made a TikTok saying that I think that sampling old pop tracks, although it's funny when it's ironic, it's becoming like a trend in music right now. Specifically within like drill, and I think that the irony being there is what makes it cool. But then you have people like Jack Harlow who did it on their track with the Fergie sample. I think that they did the same thing with, it wasn't the Spice Girls. There was one of the songs where they actually used another, like, they used another big sample, and it was kind of lazy and lame. And I made a TikTok just saying that. I said that I think that the use of, like, 2000s pop samples right now is so, like, and I think that part of my bias is because I think that 2000s pop specifically is just such a bland style of music. I just never was really into it.
That's a cold take right there. Or
That was bold.
That's a cold one?
cold and bold.
Okay. So it's just like something that we all agree on but just don't really say out loud?
Well,
I wouldn't
It's a bold
say
take.
agree.
Okay, because what is cold take? Because cold take sounds like something where it's like everybody is like in agreement. Are you saying that it's like a hot take because you don't agree?
I think hot take would be something that's out there, but people also never really, or I don't know. Hot take is like, wow, I can't believe you said that. You might make a good point there. Cold is like, wow, I can't believe you said that. That shit's ass.
Maybe that's just me being stupid, and maybe they are right. But I
Like
was
a room temperature take is like, yeah, everyone kind of,
You're
agrees.
100% right about sampling.
Yeah.
Genre?
That's why I was saying maybe it just comes from a wrong place because I have my own bias there. But even with the bias of not really liking 2000s pop music,
Drop my phone again.
yeah, I think that the use of the samples
want to lay on your lap.
nonetheless is fairly lazy. They, like with the Fergie sample on Jack Harlow's album, they literally just put the hook in, and then he like gets horny over it, and he's like, I've been a G, throw up the L, sex in the A, M,
Ooh. I want to fuck you in the ear.
Oh yeah, that was another bar. We're not doing the whole Jack Harlow thing unless we are, but I'm gonna fuck the earrings off of you, threw me for a loop. I was like,
I want to fuck your ears.
I want to fuck your ears. But even if we go back a few years, Drake did the whole Michael Jackson sample on Scorpion, and I thought that shit was kind of cheesy too. It's not really just about, I wasn't trying to throw shade at drill right now, because for some reason I feel like that's actually more fun, and I think that the TikTok that I duetted was like a drill rapper using Just Dance by Lady Gaga. So maybe that's partially why people were like, shut up, it's fun, being
Shut
a
up,
hater.
just dance.
Yeah, shut up, just dance. I don't think that my point about specifically more mainstream artists who aren't doing it ironically, like, it's very, like, purposeful.
Mm-hmm.
I think that shit's corny. And maybe I should have clarified that more. Because even when Fabio did it, I thought it was funny. I just felt like it wasn't intended to be because it was him who did it instead.
Dog, you're okay.
I'll be thinking that
None
a
of your
snake
haters are
creeping.
going to come for you.
No, I'm always watching. Them motherfuckers were like, this is why
you say about Fabio.
they were like, you're never going to blow up. This is why you fucking suck. Ratio, just dance, bro. Just dance.
Yeah.
Honestly, just dance. I just wanted to say to y'all, I know what the fuck sampling is. I know that it's been around. I'm not saying that sampling is bad.
Yeah.
I just feel like people are being lazy with samples right now, specifically the Jack Harlow thing. I was just using Jack Harlow as the main example, and then I added in some other people, and maybe my shot at drill wasn't called for.
Yeah. Throw a shot at Kanye, why don't you? How are your thoughts on Kanye's samples?
His isn't lazy.
Mm.
He didn't throw like a whole hook in and then
Yeah.
just change the words to it
Mm-hmm.
and rap over the original.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the problem I have. But I just had to get that out there for the clip.
Yeah, I actually love the 2000 samples going on right now. I really enjoy the trend, and I think you're full of shit. No, I'm saying.
Fair enough, honestly. I'm gonna just shut up and dance.
For the best. No, but in all seriousness, I'm indifferent towards the sampling at the moment. I do think it can get lazy, but I'm not passionate or opposed to it. I'd say, like, it can be fun. I think I wasn't big into the one that you duetted, but like it hasn't all been bad.
Yeah. The biggest thing was I just like posted that as a shit post.
I'm fucking parched and you broke my cup holder. Don't give me shit.
I hope that grass tastes good. No, I'm good.
Okay. Bro,
I already finished my fucking DC.
do you wanna like just put your legs up here and cross your legs, just like go crisscross applesauce real quick?
No.
Because you keep getting distracted and it's. Oh shit!
Okay, you missed.
Put it down. I put it down.
So.
I went
Besides-
bowling.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
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 What STDs did you catch?
At least 8.
Cool.
Oh, you asked what STDs? No, that was the
That
name
still
of
works.
the STDs. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, number 8.
I caught number 8. Yeah.
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 Oh, I hate 8.
Ugh. Yeah, it makes your everything smell funky.
8s.
8s. Ew.
8s.
Nah, but bowling was fun. Shout out to the people that I went with, and Dylan, if you see this, fuck you, because I came in second and you came in first. I'm pissed.
Talk your shit, King.
But like, nah, it's fucking. If you really think about it, it's fucking gross bowling even before COVID and all that, because people are like, we got food and stuff too. Like, by the way, the fries were fucking amazing. At least before they got cold.
Yeah.
But like, you're just eating and then you're sticking your hands in some like bowling balls that
Other people have touched the same balls. I mean,
gone into and
Yeah.
likely. Actually, I won't say likely. I don't know. Maybe it's cleaned
You just-
regularly, but like it doesn't feel that way sometimes.
you can just feel that they're like kind of damp.
Yeah, it's
Oily
just
balls.
a little bit off, and like, it's just
Just feel your hands after, and you're like, oh, why am I sticky?
yeah. Plus, bowling with people who don't really know what they're doing, like this has been said before, but like the most awkward part, the most awkward situation is the walk back after you go, and it's
Yeah.
just not fun,
Yeah. I think it's fun when you completely fuck up and then you have to walk back. You're just like,
You
in
own
gutter
it.
the whole way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I own that shit.
But I actually did a pretty impressive thing, because I had it wasn't a 7-10 split. It was like the third row with the 3 pins instead of the 4, and then the 7. So I guess it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 6-7 split. And I actually got that shit. Like, I was looking back like, what the fuck am I supposed to do here? Ain't no way I'm getting this. And then I did. And like, usually I keep my composure, but I was like leaning down like, oh my god, it's actually in line. And I just like dropped, I basically just dropped ass right there just as it hit, because I was like, oh my god, I
Oh,
did
if I
it.
could throw an ass in the alley?
Yeah. I look back at all the people and I'm like, yo, nobody fucking got that on camera or anything. I was pissed. But I got at least 5 pairs of eyes that saw me pull some like pretty cool looking shit off.
Nice.
So yeah, but
That's what we like to see.
yeah, other than that, it's just a really disgusting feeling.
Yeah. For sure.
Someone walking behind the camera. Awkward. You have anything to add?
I got drunk and played Wii bowling.
Oh, nice.
But we played against somebody who's like almost a professional bowler, and every time that they strike, we're supposed to drink. And let's just say I finished my drink pretty quickly.
So, professional bowling and Wii bowling, they transfer pretty well.
I guess so.
It's
he had
honestly
the move-
surprising.
Well, it's partially like also knowing how the game works. I think that he had been playing that for so long, and he's a really good bowler.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's something about like the Wiimote tracking, like it can be actually pretty accurate.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean he was getting like 6-pack strikes. Like
Damn.
it was wild.
No, that's actually nuts.
Um,
No, actually, shout out to Adrian because he's always pulling some dumb shit.
I imagine he's doing like the grandpa shot where it's like,
Nah, he was ass for the most part, but he went before the bar came up. After they pick up the pins and then sweep up the ones that fell under it.
yeah.
He went before it came up, and we were like, "Oh my God, it's not gonna make it! It's not gonna make it!" And it was one of the only times where his actually looked right on target and not like veering off to one side. So like, oh my God, it's gonna bang against the thing, and it did. And so the ball goes into the gutter and it rolls right back to him. And he had to go again, and then he of course got like one.
That's a bummer.
Man, but the thing is, it stayed down for so long. Like everyone noticed, like because the person right after him went and essentially did the same thing, but it came up way faster, and so like it's got to be rigged.
Yeah,
It's got to be racist.
gotta be.
Yeah. So shout out Adrian. 99% of the time, I never want to do a physical activity with you because some shit always goes wrong.
Yeah. I imagine he's the type of dude who would like throw his club at Top Golf.
Oh my God. I might be that type of dude. But I'm only saying that because we also did roller skating one time, and he's not good, and I'm not that great either. But like he was holding on to me for balance, and I had some bruises for a good while because he's that much bigger than me. Like every time he falls, I go with him.
Oh.
If not, like way harder.
I thought you were just saying that he had that like gorilla grip on you, just like.
Oh, that didn't help either, but he did, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And he was grabbing you hard with your hand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let it be known that Adrian has that.
Yeah.
Never mind.
The,
No, finish the sentence.
the age Russie. Do you have your notes app?
I do.
We just gotta move on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You want to get into like Garfield or something? Speaking of ussies.
Oh my god. So everybody's favorite pussy.
If everyone were to have a favorite pussy,
Yeah, it's obviously
it
Garfield.
would have to be Garfield. Yeah.
Oh, that's
So-
where we're going with this.
Cam was so confused.
Yeah.
So over the weekend we got.
Is that a Cheeto truck? That's a Cheeto truck.
Oh my god. We just seen a Cheeto truck.
Our boy Cam has to head out real quick.
So he won't be here for Garfield.
I'll see y'all. I'm gonna go to a class that's 4 days a week for some damn reason.
It happens.
Yeah.
We're praying for you, my boy.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Later.
Have a good one, man. Bless you. So back to pussies.
Yeah. We'll finish off with Garfield. We talked.
How long have we been going?
I think it'll be an hour and like 10 minutes.
Okay.
So I'll kind of leave this more as like a cut point.
Okay.
So we got put on to Super Eye Patch Wolf, what the internet did to Garfield. I know that we're about 4 months late, but we had just seen this, and it was because a friend had actually told us about this.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yo, you got to watch this. It was our friend Kyle. He said, it's crazy, you know, and we need to talk about this.
Yeah.
So we watched this. And it's really hard to give like a brief synopsis on this
Yeah.
because there is so much that's happened.
So much lore.
Yeah. So, surprisingly, a lot of the lore is not related to what's actually in the Garfield. Well, it kind of is.
Mm-hmm.
Garfield, for the most part, is fairly innocent. You know, it's been marketed for like the past 40 years just because it's a very simple concept, 3-panel comic with generally the first is the setup. What was the second part? Generally speaking of every...
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I mostly remember the non-surface level-ish stuff, I guess.
Yeah, so it has a very simple structure, basically.
Mhm.
And...
Setup, something, punchline.
Yeah. And most of it revolves around John being kind of a dork or something else, you know, but for the most part, John is kind of like the dorky comic strip writer that's kind of not going well.
Yeah.
And then Garfield says something snarky back through text bubbles, and the funny thing about it is that he's a cat, so the thought that he has a human thought is funny.
Thank you for explaining the comedy of Garfield, yeah.
Yeah. You know, that's what I do.
Yeah.
I ruin jokes by over-explaining them.
You don't make jokes, you explain them. Oof.
Yeah, exactly. Essentially, people, over time, kind of dug into Garfield because not only is it such a just, like, well-known, like, pop culture figure, but if you actually do look into the comics, when you do, like, analysis, like we've done rhetorical analysis in school, you know, in your art history, you have to, like, do analysis of, like paintings and stuff.
Mm.
I feel like that was, like, a weird way to butcher what that's just to play that. You guys, like, analyze paintings and shit, I guess.
Yeah, to dumb it down real quick, yeah.
Essentially, people started looking at it and they're like, well, Garfield only speaks through text bubbles, like thought bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
So in reality, if you look at what John's reality is, he's not hearing anything that Garfield's responding with.
Yeah.
So if you
were to take that away, and just get it from John's perspective.
A lot of the comics seem a lot more depressing or, like, sad.
Mm-hmm.
As just a guy who, you know, has a cat, but he's, like, complaining to his cat with no response back.
Yeah.
And it's surprisingly sad to look at.
Mm-hmm.
And people were, like, wondering why that is and why John is characterized that way. And Jim Davis, the creator of Garfield, had a failed cartoon early on in his career. And, you know, he was a little upset about it. And he generally says, like, he had, like, a 3-year gap of doing nothing, and then he started Garfield, and it took off. Mm-hmm. But within that 3-year gap, he actually had another cartoon.
Oh, I know that's not, like, a scary bug, but it's a bug. Get the fuck off my golf shirt.
Oh, it's a love bug. The worst thing Florida's ever made. Because they're just annoying more than anything. Yeah, so love bugs were actually created by, I think, UF. Like genetic modification and shit.
Mm.
And they were meant to kill mosquitoes, but then they didn't. So now they become like a seasonal annoyance. Because nothing kills them. They don't kill anything. Yeah. They kind of just fuck.
They're like flying cockroaches.
Basically. Without being as gross.
That's in a less derogatory way, because cockroaches are fucking the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just annoying because they hit your car.
Ooh. Cam hath returned?
Cam must have forgot.
Let's see what he's here for. It's got to be important.
Oh.
What that?
Oh,
crucial.
Appreciate it. Next time you'll be fine.
Yeah.
I was only worried about the lens cap when we were trying to do the lifting the bench and stuff.
It's all right. Just never do it again.
Just never do it again.
All right, fellas.
See you.
Goodbye for real.
Essentially, he had this comic beforehand, and it was called like John or like the story of John or something like that.
Mm.
And
My favorite Bible verse.
yeah, essentially it was Garfield, but instead of a cat, John was the sarcastic second voice.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the times, John was voicing opinions that Jim Davis had about the comic industry and other things. And the thought was that one not doing very well either.
Actually, that might be my favorite orange pussy. Cheeto truck just passed again. Sorry. I'm not sorry, but it felt necessary to say. But Chester the Cheeto, Chester the Cheetah might be my favorite orange pussy.
Love that orange
The
pussy.
fact that there's 2 popular orange pussies, or I should
I think there's actually 3.
Let me rephrase that. The fact that there are at least 2 popular orange cats.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But there's another one because people said that Garfield actually looked like another one that was really popular at the time.
Not popular now.
Yeah.
I'm a stick with 2.
But the thought that Garfield did well once he changed this character that was supposed to represent his own thoughts through him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a comic writer that, you know, is a little cynical and shit. But it starts doing well when he changes it to a funny cat.
Yeah.
I think that must have had some sort of like ironic kind of pain to it. To know like, oh yeah, my thoughts weren't enough. I had to make it into a cute cat. And then the comic industry loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Garfield became one of the biggest, like, basically a corporate entity. It's such a well-known figure that no matter what it is changed into, like a mug or, you know, a stuffed animal, whatever, like, you know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And people started digging into that because they think that part of that pain can be seen through Garfield to some extent,
Mm-hmm.
where John now has transformed from what used to be his opinions to how he either feels about himself or how maybe the industry made him feel.
It's a tool to voice his insecurities or beliefs and such.
Especially when you look into how John is treated in the comics, a lot of the times Garfield is tormenting John with his sarcasm or like physical pain. And you think about that and it's just like the thought that maybe that is how he feels, where he just feels like he can't get away from Garfield at times. And that's where the internet starts coming into play, because now you have artists who pick up on this nuance and they've started drawing Garfield in ways that make him like a Dark Souls villain, where he's this incredibly grotesque creature and John is just like super tiny comparatively.
Yeah, itty bitty little bitch boy.
Yeah. And I've seen some of these memes, but I just didn't understand like the full lore into it.
You mostly just thought it was like, oh, that's a funny way to interpret the character.
Yeah,
and just
trying to like ruin like kids'
Yeah.
cartoons, because then people would kind of branch off with other cartoons.
Mhm.
But Garfield specifically had this like different lore behind it, where
It's sort of like a really gnarly creepypasta that has legitimate history behind it.
yeah, it really did kind of become its own little creepypasta like pocket on the internet. And a lot of them have really cool artistic expression too. And like I said, it's that depiction of him as either like a ethereal being or like a Dark Souls boss, or, you know, something that is so incredibly scary or surreal.
Yeah.
That kind of makes him feel like inescapable or scary. When you look at John, who is somebody who's supposed to be like afraid of Garfield, in the fact that like Garfield is what John never became.
Right.
I think that
The shadow of the bird scared me because I thought it was on the ground.
yeah,
I thought it was like, oh my god, the ducks are attacking
It's
me for
Garfield.
telling them to shut up.
yeah.
But,
Now we do got one creeping up. We got a
Mhm.
whole squad actually.
Damn.
Um,
But like, to in another form of expression that wasn't the fan art, there you want to get into the videos.
yeah.
So there were videos that were shown in this one big like a synopsis of Garfield's history, and it was these very ahead of their time in a way,
Mm-hmm. Very.
like skit sort of things where they
I think it was called like Lasagna Cat or something like that.
right, yeah, I think, yeah, and they brought to life these comic strips. These 3-panel comic strips did the whole jokes setup and all that, and then it turns into these sort of meme-y sort of interpretations of them.
Yeah. Kind of like how meme culture became very like surreal at times and very
Right.
like dark almost.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where this took it to.
Yeah.
It would legitimately just recap like a comic from Garfield where they just reacted out. And
And
then
then it would have some sort of remix of it.
yeah. And then the last part would be this completely like surreal, weird take off of something relating to the first two.
Mm-hmm. And then, so these were ahead of their times, ahead of the time because they it was before memes in a way sort of evolved to that point, and then it goes away for a time,
Yeah.
and then there's a video put out with a number, and it's like a hotline where you say your name and essentially your body count,
Mm-hmm.
and like a lot of people called into that, and there's speculation about whether they were made aware that this would be
In
it
a
would be
video.
in a video, and, so they were all put in a video, and like all of them, like 5 hours worth, and can you believe that many people killed that many people?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a lot of murder, honestly.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
if that's the type of people that Garfield and Lasagna Cat attract, really makes sense based
Yeah.
on those videos.
But it was a sex hotline.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially they made this video where it was just almost an infinite loop for 5 hours where it would be Garfield reading the newspaper or Ollie reading the newspaper or John reading the newspaper.
Someone knocks.
Yeah.
Open the door.
And then there would be a mannequin there and they would read off the voicemail that was left.
It would
For
be
the
like,
voice recording.
for example, like, my name is Bartholomew, and I have slept with 3 people.
Yeah.
And then it's just that over and over with a bunch of different people and names. I mean, bunch of goddamn,
A bunch of different.
bunch of different people, and
Yeah.
then their body counts.
And this went on. I mean, it would probably be a 15-second clip, 30-second clip. 5 hours worth of just on repeat.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, it breaks away into something else. But one of the guys, Super Eye Patch Wolf, he said that he watched the entire video.
Mm-hmm.
And the big thing that he pointed out was at first it just felt really uncomfortable because you just would have on repeat very personal information about people and their sex life, and it just felt eerie to be hearing it like this in such an impersonal way. And it eventually got to a point where he had gotten so used to hearing it that it just almost felt like nothing. Like he
was numb to it.
yeah. The effect just kind of went away. And then at the end, it breaks away. And when John opens the door, this time it's not a mannequin, it's John.
It's himself.
And John says, my name is John and I've slept with 2 people. And then the John who answered the door says, John has slept with 0 people. I fucked that joke up.
Damn it.
John has slept with 0 people. And then it shuts the door. And then you see the John outside the door.
How did you interpret that? Because I was like, oh my god, he fucked his dog and cat.
I didn't see that, but that's actually funnier.
Really? I thought that was the point.
I thought that the whole John sleeping with 0 people thing
I meant with the 2.
Yeah, I was saying with John
Mm.
sleeping with 0 people thing, I thought it was just a self-deprecation joke, which kind of goes along with the whole theme earlier.
Oh, my thing is fucked then.
But I see your point.
Right. You gotta put yourself in the headspace. Like, these people were just saying they're like really personal and personal things that it's kind of fucked up to have out in public, you know,
Yeah.
and the style of videos and all that. So I was already in that headspace, like, how's this gonna go wrong?
Yeah.
And I heard slept with 2, and I was like, no, they went there. So yeah.
And then he gets really old, and he's almost like visually looking like Jim Davis, is what people kind of think too. And there's this scene where it's just like it feels like he's running away.
We also got to mention that at the end of all the older videos where it would get like the remix of the comic panels, they would all end with a dedicated to Jim Davis thing.
Yeah.
So
There was this really heavy focus on Jim Davis from the start with not only these videos, but even like the early mentions of this like deeper Garfield lore.
which is atypical because a lot of other things that get fan art of sorts don't have that sort of recognition for the creator.
Yeah.
But carry on.
And, John starts to look like Jim Davis, and it feels like he's running away, and then he gets stopped by what looks like this crazy humanoid Garfield.
It was
almost.
a furry.
Yeah, basically.
It was a furry.
And it comes to kill Jim, and then Jim just like kind of crumbles into like bugs and worms and shit.
If you watched Star Wars Episode 4, it looked like Obi-Wan, the way he'd sort of disintegrated from his cloth when he was fighting Darth Vader.
Yeah.
It looked like that, but then it shows the clothes, and it's, like you said, a bunch of bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just trying to give a visual.
And then before we get into the last scene, like I said, it just feels like the way they described it was it felt as though the use of the sexual experiences from people was to kind of highlight how Jim may be putting his own personal feelings and grievances within the Garfield comics like he, it seems like he usually does. And people have just become desensitized to it because it's supposed to be like, haha, this funny joke. To maybe the point where he's doing it and he doesn't even realize he's doing it. So he's almost desensitized to his own feelings within the comics.
Right.
But also, other people don't see that, like, they don't see through the idea that he's not just a cartoon. Like, he's putting his real feelings into these. So John is almost an extension of himself. And when you see, like, the sex thing, when it's on repeat like that, you don't feel it anymore. I thought that was kind of where that symbolism kind of comes into play. Then, the thing at the end, like I said, it kind of goes back with the theme of Garfield being inescapable in his life. It's become, like, too big to the point where, like, any personal information that he puts in there, people are just waiting on the Garfield punchline. Garfield kind of, like, kills his feelings. And, yeah, I mean, that's at least how I interpreted it.
No, you're pretty spot on there.
But
let's get to the stillborn child.
Yeah. So the crazy thing.
Let me never say that again.
Yeah. At the end of it, there
God,
was a
imagine
scene.
if Cam was here. Sorry.
Oh
you
yeah,
just had
this
to hear
would
all
have
this.
this would have been wild.
This would have had him hella confused. This would be like Doctor Strange made up rumors on steroids.
Yeah.
But this is all real.
That is the crazy
part.
It's we didn't make any of this up. This is all on YouTube. It's a full series and everything. At the very end of this, there is a scene where a Polish girl is in a bathroom, and she essentially
She's like screaming in agony.
Yeah. And she gets up, and there is a stillborn child in the toilet. and it looks like John. And
It opens its eyes.
It opens its eyes. She starts speaking in Polish, basically saying things along the lines of like, "This is an abomination," and I'll be damned for this or something like that.
Yeah.
And I felt like it was a really dramatic way to show again how
John has mommy issues.
yes, but to show how Jim Davis feels about himself and maybe John as a character in general.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, when you put your feelings through a character and people completely overlook it because they don't think it's good enough, and then when Cartoon Cat comes around and that's what makes it good enough, you start to feel like your own feelings are invalidated by this whole industry.
Yeah.
And this whole community of people that watch your work. Kind of the like vapidness of entertainment kind of taking over how you portray your art has to kind of feel empty, and like you start to look down on yourself and what is supposed to be representative of you. And it was a really grotesque way to demonstrate that, but the artistic intention was there. And what did you think about it?
That shit was gross. Nah.
Yeah.
But it was. You're right. It was a very grotesque way of sending that message, but I think it was an effective way, at least in my eyes. Like I understood it.
Yeah.
Like I think they knew going in that people that it could be taken in that way, as well as just a shocking, jarring sort of a imagery that has no further meaning to it, and I think they were okay with that.
People who didn't get it were going to see that and be shocked, and it probably would have spread the word, and I think that was kind of part of the plan too. But I think for the most part, like, it did have that intention behind it. It was a very interesting video, and like we said, it was just the extension of what the internet did to Garfield. It's kind of become its own, like we said, creepypasta earlier, where people really look deep into like the lore behind it, not necessarily within the story that's been written, but the story of the creator, and how, he wants to be Garfield and everybody wants to be Garfield, but like, and Super Eye Patch Wolf put it this way, everybody is John. Just this bleak feeling that it's going to get better, but sometimes it just doesn't. Whereas Garfield is somebody who just kind of lives freely and gets to say his sarcasm here and there.
He gets to take 8-hour naps and eat lasagna and hate Mondays.
Yeah.
And torture his owner.
Yeah. I tried explaining this whole concept to my mom, and she did not get it at all. I was like, but Mom, you see the nuance in it.
We're John!
We're John. She was like, I just thought Garfield liked lasagna. I just thought Garfield liked lasagna. I just thought Garfield liked lasagna. What are we talking about?
I just thought Garfield liked lasagna.
I just thought Garfield liked lasagna. No, Mom. Garfield is a manifestation of our inner thoughts and beliefs. We want to be Garfield. We want to be free. We want to feel powerful. Garfield has all of this power. He's almost a god. But we are all John. We are the disciples.
I just thought Garfield liked lasagna.
This is Editor Colin. I was talking about a live stream that ended up not happening because we had technical difficulties. So I ended up having to cut this part out. But if you want to go ahead and check out the Colin and Devin live streams, you still should. We do have the live recaps up on the Colin and Devin channel, and we still do try to get those live streams out every Tuesday, and we'll try to get that out next Tuesday, hopefully. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and send you to the outro. Thanks again for watching.
Tuesdays at 8, Colin and Devin.
Yes,
That's the
feel
YouTube
free
channel.
to come check it out and be there when we actually shoot them, because that's pretty cool.
Right.
But yeah. Do you want to say the outro? Do you want to say it?
Oh, fuck.
Because you usually say it, but I don't really want to say it because there's usually pressure.
I get it. Yeah, you kind of suck at it.
You got it.
All right.
Bye. Damn, you see, it just didn't hit the same.
Bye.
All right, there we go.
Yeah. Either you have it or you don't. The ones who know.
Shut the fuck.